This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? X&C Podcast. I am the host, Colteastwood, and the host is nothing without the great co-host, Mag, middle-aged game guy, and we are ready for another great show. And the news has been, it's been an unprecedented summer when we're supposed to lay low and just play games. How you been, Mag?
How have I been? I've been getting attacked since 9 o'clock this morning, man. I feel like Thanos after like all those like little holes opened up, and then Falcon comes in and he goes, on your left. And then I'm like, what is happening?
Yep.
Listen, man, all I did was report a news story. That's it. And I even did a disclaimer at the beginning of my video. And I said, guys, this is not confirmed. This is not a finished thing. Don't run with this and that, whatever. And what did everybody do? Ran with it. Exactly the opposite of what I said at the beginning of the video. It was actually quite hilarious. But then, my God, dude, as the day progressed, people were so awful. Just saying such horrible things to me. And I had to block like 4 or 5 people off my channel completely. I had to block people on Twitter because they were and then they weren't just saying like, oh, Mag, you're wrong. It was like really bad stuff. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, you're sick. You need to go.
I mean, we could jump into it, but I want to get to that in a moment.
Sorry, that's how I was doing.
Yeah.
Because that's how I've been all day. Yeah.
I want you to savor the reason why you made this video when we get into the heart of the topics and why people are attacking you. Because you and I were talking a little bit today, back and forth as news was breaking. We are on episode 215, and something I haven't talked about in a while is I want to talk about what we've been playing, because we got to talk about what we've been playing because this is a gaming podcast, and I just want to take a minute and thank everybody who supported the channel and supported Mag's channel. Go and sub to Mag, the Mag Show on YouTube, which is in the description, an easy link. Open up the description while you're watching the show. Click on that, hit the subscribe, come right back, and you only miss about 3 words after you hit that button. But I want to thank everybody for all their support, and you've changed our lives, and we really do appreciate it. And before I let Mag talk about his appreciation for all of you as well, I wanted to read out the channel members who are instrumental in the channel members and Patreon veterans. I updated the list last night, which is long overdue. Let me see. I'm going to pop this thing open. It's such an amazing list. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank KY Bob, Pushing Polygons, Hargeet Chani, Zimic, Farscape, Game Seeker, Assassin Lupa, Decatron, Jazzy Noop Xbox, Happy Bomb, Jason Lewan, Lord Sin Eater, William Riggs, Trickster for Trey, Jason Lewan, Molten Pandora 24. I talked to Jason. He has 2 accounts on here. Thank you for support. Aries EMS and Brian, and channel members who have been supporting this channel for 9 months and longer. It's amazing. Big shout out to channel members Matt Burns, KY Bob, Udonis Kzada, Suicide King, Assassin Lupa, Robert Jackson, Dante Moody, Septic Sauce, V Simcoe, Assassin Hargeet Chani, Risk It for the Biscuit, Red Wolf, Trell Roberts, Meat Puppet 007, Rippin 1, Fire 71, Jason Lewan, That Blue Number, Tim Way, aka Dark CMF. I love this list, Mag, because half of these people I get to talk to all the time. They're amazing, and I'm sure you'll see some crossovers. TextMade 3, Shooter 2853, VMAC, VMAC Man, Sith Lord, B Martin, Lili Lu, which you'll see in Chinese characters from China. Amazing. Dead Time, KJ Wars 85, Biff Rinaldi, Rippin 1, Happy Bomb, Professor Chaos, Grandpa Barbecue, Game Cat, Phantom Beat, Matthew Barrios, also Decatron, Jimmy Cooks 25, Joshua Gladden, Andy Hart, Kirk Adams, Brew Our Hood, Molten Pandora 24, Donut, Red Rooster Boss, Eli Zapp, Emperor Hound 393, Ice Cold, Nerds and Other Legends, Capono, and Crispy Nuggets. And if you were here and you got to hear your name, I hope you appreciate that. I know I would appreciate that as well as Meg hits the achievement.
Achievement unlocked, 100 achievement points for naming all channel members in under 4 minutes. That's a 100-point achievement right there.
Yeah, so I'm sure that you saw some names or heard some names that are also supporting you, and we've been going through it today. So yeah, tell people how you're doing.
I listen. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was like people were coming at me so hard today, and I'm like, listen, man. And someone in the chat actually said, they're like, shoot the messenger, and I'm like, that's so funny. But I was so riddled with anxiety today that I was like shaking. I'm like, oh my god, like, and it wasn't just like a little bit coming after me. It was like hard. And I'm like, I had to go on I have a recumbent bike, you know, those sit down bikes, because I can't do the stand up bike because it hurts my crotch region. So I can't do those bikes. I can't sit on those bikes.
So
the
takes a
recumbent
week,
bike is
and you'll
nice,
get used to it. We'll talk about it off the air. If you can get, that area taken care of.
Dude, I'm not riding a horse. You know what I mean? So I sit on my nice chair and I move my legs. I had to go on the recumbent for like 45 minutes before the show just to get all that
crap.
That nervous energy out of my system, because I was just so wound up, and I'm like, I'm gonna have whatever. Anyways, it was awful. But either way, it doesn't make a difference. Whenever we get into this, we'll get into it. But yeah, it was that kind of thing. However, I had a wonderful build up to that. What an awesome weekend playing Battlefield 6 with the community, with my fellow maggots out there. I had Cobra in there. Danny Passion Official was in there. We had Alex in there. These are guys who are on this channel as well, channel members here, and of course channel members over on the Mag Show. And we all played together, the four of us. We played Battlefield for hours. Then after that, I got offline because my eyeballs were melting. Dude, you can only handle first-person shooters for so long. Mm-hmm. And after that, I went offline, came back online, and then I started playing with what's it called, with Noof Nukem and You're Wicked Hot. We played for about an hour plus, and it was so good. Battlefield was so good. I also streamed Mafia last week. I'm going to stream the second half of Mafia sometime this week. I had a great Magcast. I almost had 1,000 people come out to watch that show. My solo show, where I do the first half of it as members only, then I open it to the public. Had a great time doing that. And then I released a video today, and then everybody crucified me. And all I was waiting for was Vlad the Impaler to show up at the door and stick a pike up my rear end and then hang me on my front lawn. I'm like, oh, that's coming next. But either way, that's how today went. But either way, we're here. We're here to talk about it. Let's talk about things. Colteastwood, I don't know what's happening with you right now, but
I'm trying to fix it. It was giving me this problem while I was setting up the show. Hey, you can still hear me that my mouth is not moving. I don't know. The only way I know how to fix it is to close OBS and reopen it.
Yeah, it was you know what? A Funky Playbox said it was the longest smile ever. And you know the funny thing is, I'm staring at it and I'm like, Colt is really listening to my story here. He seems so interested. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. I'm like, he's frozen.
I'm trying to figure out a way to do it without shutting off OBS. Because if I close OBS, it will stop the stream and I'll have to restart it.
I was going to say, or Colt is the greatest ventriloquist in the history of the world. Hey, Captain Chats, what's up, dude?
I could try. So, I don't know.
I can keep talking. Yeah, I can keep talking while you see if you figure that out. But
let me.
Anyways, that was Go ahead.
I knew I shouldn't have messed with it. Let me try restarting the stream. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, fun. Yes. Let's exit, and we should be back on in just a moment. There we go. I won't mess with anything else. I did an adjustment on the camera where I. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I did an adjustment on the camera where I desaturated it so I wasn't so red color. Anyway, and then I messed it up, but we're here. Everything's good. I'm looking live. Everything's good. We're back. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Meg, I'm sorry. I missed like half of what you're saying, but yeah.
Oh, good. It's okay. Everybody, listen, JV Smooth, it's going to be like that every Monday, so get used to it, all right? All right? Get used to the 10-liter jug of water that I'm going to drink every Monday and then spend the entire night peeing every 15 minutes when I go to bed. And they're always like, you know what? They're like, you need to drink all this water. You need to drink all this water. And I'm like, all right, cool. I could drink all this water. But guess what? Every time I drink all that water, all I do is spend the entire night peeing. Yes, Preston, I really do love my jugs. These are great jugs. I love my water. Actually, this is not water. This is actually just straight vodka. So I had this chilling in the freezer for the last 2 days, and we're ready for the show. Colt, blink twice if you're under attack. Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's so
funny. You're like this.
I know. A couple of years ago, me would have been like, "Oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do?" But I mean, we've been through so much together, Mag. Like nothing can really phase us when things go wrong. But yeah, I do love your jugs as well, Mag. Yeah, we
Good
really,
Lord, that makes one of us.
we really do appreciate everybody so much for making this show so much fun. There's some weeks in the past where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I don't know if anybody even wants to hear us talk about the gaming news, and you guys make it an amazing Monday. Let's get into the gaming news but first, like breaking the ice with, I've played a crap ton of Grounded 2 with my 2 kids. We finished the main story. It's like pulling teeth to get my son to continue to play because I want to continue building and explore some more. We got the spider buggy, so we're riding around on orc weavers, which are, like this big. It's incredible. But I also was, people are going to make fun of me, but I wanted to go through the Unity in Starfield, and I'm going to be very vague because this is like the new game plus, because Starfield is most likely going to get announced maybe next week or this week to come to PlayStation in the spring. So it's going to be brand new to a lot of people, but
weird.
Cool things can happen and random things can happen in the game. And so I wanted to play the campaign through, and I didn't realize that my second character had done none of the main quest. So I was locked down for 2 days, could not put Starfield down. And I gave Starfield around an 85. I didn't give it an official score. The reason why I bring this up is Starfield will be back in the news the next couple weeks, but I knew I liked the game a lot when I played it, but when I replayed it, I was like, wow, yeah, this game is really, really good and gets a lot of hate for people who just didn't quite get into it as much as maybe I did. But I've been playing that. I still haven't touched the Battlefield beta, and that's what I've been doing. What have you been playing, Meg?
Colt, you missed the Battlefield beta. It's over. There is no more Battlefield beta. It's done.
I know, but it was open. It was available this weekend again. I think it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to it.
Oh my God. Okay, so the first weekend they did the 3 days, right? They did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then this week they did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they did 4 days. And as it stands right now, DICE and EA have said that's it until the game is released.
Dude,
they said there's no more betas after that.
Gaz streamed it for 8 hours straight on Saturday. Him and his buddies were playing, and they just streamed multiplayer matches in the beta. He had an 8-hour stream going. I'm like, you don't even need to buy the game at this point. You've already experienced it. But he's so hooked. But
oh, dude, it was amazing. And I actually
you did a 2-hour stream.
I did about a 2 hour plus, maybe 2.5 hour stream, whatever it was. Yeah. And like I said, I was playing with Danny Passion, and he goes, I was just playing with Gaz. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, thank God you came to your senses and came to me. What's Gaz gonna do out on the battlefield? Cry? Run the other direction? You know what I mean?
He's pretty good at those games. He's so good, in fact.
I know he's good.
I'll tell you a story, Mag. I was in an argument on Twitter with a PlayStation fanboy who's like, Xbox guys can't play games. I almost said Xbox gays, but that's a totally different group. I said Xbox guys can't play games, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, we play tons of games. And he was like, oh, I could beat you in Call of Duty. And I said, well, you should play Gaz, because Gaz is really good. Like, that guy is like the top of the leaderboard whenever we play Call of Duty. And the guy took that comment, well, it kind of sounded like it, but he took it as me saying, you versus Gaz, let's have it. And Gaz is so mad, he had to spend like 2 weeks like playing Call of Duty nonstop to play with this guy, because they was going to be in front of his whole group of friends. And I made him like sweat over Call of Duty, and then he ended up becoming friends with this diehard PlayStation fanboy that he used to hate us. So dreams can come true.
Dreams can come true. I don't. The funny thing is remember was it 2 weeks ago? You and I had a little discussion, and sorry, it was last week. We had the discussion about just bringing together like a community. I don't care where you play, whether it's Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. And I'm like, guys, let's just play games and have a good time or whatever. So, like, for example, when I did the Battlefield beta, shout out to Storm Shadow, Storm's Shadow XR, who just added me on PlayStation. And by the way, I'd like to say thank you to the 119 people who added me on Xbox in the last 8 days. It was absolutely mind-blowing. And Xbox
we were getting friend requests like all during the show last week, and for days afterward.
Nonstop.
It was awesome.
And nonstop. and it's still happening now. I just got 3 or 4 more guys, and I'm like, listen, guys, I know I don't come across there on the online a lot, because what ends up happening is there are a couple of people who come after me, whatever. So I turn my status to offline. Trust me, I'm there. Next week, I will definitely be there. And even if I'm not, if I'm playing on my PlayStation 5, like Gears or Helldivers, guys, I am the Mag. Just follow me. Like that's my name. I am the Mag, all capitals. Find me, because what happened is, like I was saying on the Battlefield beta this weekend, I was playing with Xbox guys, PC guys, and PlayStation guys, all in the same squads. So like that's awesome. Isn't that what we wanted from the beginning? Like enough of this baloney, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like in today, all these guys losing their minds, and I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? Yeah, see, Chris Williams is a Mag last seen 83 days ago. Yeah, I was online literally 3 days ago. Right, so it's like I've
actually talked a few friends into stop hiding offline. Red Wolf's one of them. He's been appearing online again, but Rand will never do it.
See, Rand shows up as offline all the time.
For like 3-4 years straight. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like maybe he has the same shiz that I have to deal with. Like, you know what I mean? And like most people are so awesome. They're like, and I talk to everybody. Everybody get barbecue game cat just added me on Xbox. Dude, you weren't my friend before. I can't believe it. But either way, it's great, because what ends up happening is you all become friends. You know what I mean? You all get together, this and that, whatever. But I can understand from Rand's point of view. I have all these great people on all these consoles, and then all it takes is one. Right? Or maybe 2. And then what happens is you get on there and immediately they invite you to a party, and you just got catfished because you're like, hey man, how's it going? It's like, what are you playing? And this and that. And then they just go off on you, and I'm like, oh.
Yep. Mike Gann just added me. Thanks, Mike.
It's like, this is the only way I could get you, you effing fraud, and this and that. I'm like, wow. I'm like, the guy that's happy like gaming.
Like Gilmore 37 wants to play Minecraft. Gilmore 37 wants to play Minecraft. Gilmore 37 wants to play Minecraft over and over. And I'm like, okay, already. And then I'll just mess him and go, please, just please. I'm trying to play a game. But we appreciate everybody so much.
Barbecue Game Cat, JCT Ohio, Power Plate 37961. Sounds like a prisoner, actually.
Incursion
just
added
number
me.
Power Plate 37961. Yeah. So next week, Gears, and like I said, if I'm not on the Xbox, if I'm on PlayStation, because I play with my wife on PlayStation, I will be there. But it doesn't make a difference. It's all cross-platform. So just hit me up, you'll find me, and I'm there. So like I said, you'll find my name wherever. And so I'm bouncing around from both consoles. So depends. Like this weekend, I put. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I put the PS5 Pro through the paces for Battlefield, but not all the performance options were on the beta.
Okay.
Like apparently you can, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is going to be like a 4K 60, or you could do a 1080 120 FPS, which is pretty standard for Call of Duty, right? So I did not see that. I just put it on performance mode. I mean, and it was ridiculous. It was blazing. I'm sure the Series X was the same. I never put it through its paces on there because I was playing the beta with Cobra and Danny Passion. Yeah, it's enough, dude. It's
hashtag
enough.
60 FPS is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need any more than that, because like my eyeballs were literally melting out of my skull like Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I was like, no, I can't do it. Titan Drago, get out of this chat, please.
Oh, it's Titan Drago.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Titan Drago, you know what? Like this whole thing we're going to talk about later with the talks of Returnal not happening, but the talks of Returnal. There's only one game I want to come to Xbox from PlayStation, one single player game, and I want it to be Days Gone, just to bother Titan Drago, and I want to see Titan Drago.
What, he doesn't like Days Gone?
He used to razz me all the time on Gaming After Dark about Days Gone, because I said I love it. It's one of my favorite games of the last generation. And that scumbag kept going, like, you're kidding me. Like with his like salacious Crumb voice from Return of the Jedi. You know, the little guy that sits at the bottom of Jabba's. Yeah. The guy that sits at Jabba's feet, that's Titan Drago. So like he used to yell at me and freak out. And so I'm like, you know what? I want Days Gone to be the first game, and I'll lose that bet. I'll be happy to bend the knee right here in this room and just watch. Yeah, Titan Drago, laugh it up, buddy.
I think you'd like the game, Titan. Shout out to Titan. Let me get some. Thank you so much to KY Bob for gifting 5 channel memberships. Thank you so much. We will work on some new channel member emojis that you can use in the chat, because Joanna Dark is one of them. So if you can get a Joanna Dark emoji in the chat as a channel member, spam it right now, because I canceled her. It's over. It's over. Thank you so much, KY Bob. I'm going to be on his podcast on Wednesday evening, Game Set Live, and we're going to be chopping it up and talking music and probably video games. But no, we're going to be talking gaming mostly, but we always end up talking about music and other things. And really great show, good friend, and a great gaming partner as well. Logic Bomb, thank you so much for the 5, says, Canada sucks because half the country speaks French and the other half lets them.
There's only one province that speaks French. There's 9 other provinces that don't.
Oui.
So basically, if anybody doesn't know, a province is basically the same as a state. Okay, so consider Canada to have 10 states. Okay,
huge.
for all my American friends.
Yeah.
So there's 10 states, so to speak, provinces. 1 out of those 10 are French. The rest are all English speaking.
Okay.
And
what's wrong with the French people? What's that about?
What? Are you mad?
Yeah.
I fight with them all the time.
They're amazing. You know, I don't think I know anybody that's like.
I was going to say
France.
the national languages in Canada are, of course, English being the first. French is the one other province, and then for all those who know, Brampton is all the third official language of Canada is Indian.
Last of Dying Bread, thank you for the 5. Says, is dealer alive and okay? He's absolutely fantastic. I talk to him almost every week. Mag always makes the joke that he has him tied up in his basement, but I've yet to see proof the dealer's in his basement.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
Dealer's doing very, very well. We've been talking about he's been out of sorts of the gaming news, so he like comes in and goes, Is it true that Xbox putting all their games on PlayStation? I'm like, oh buddy. Yeah. So he has I made a joke about PlayStation. He's like, I'm on my PlayStation right now. So he's been just playing a ton of games. He's a good friend. I want him to come back and hang out, get back in the console war. BT Maverick with a 5. Thank you so much. BT says, commence the goalpost moving, and when the next gen Xbox is playing PlayStation, Steam games, it doesn't magically turn into a PC. It's still an Xbox using its own APU. A mutual content creator that Mag and I watch. Mag watches it a little more than I do. Reforged Gaming was talking recently about if Xbox has Steam games and PlayStation games and PC games and Xbox games, it's essentially become nothing. It's a nothing. It has no identity anymore. That's what he said. And when I heard that, I thought, well, Reforged, you just described everything. Because his exact logic goes to, if you're a PC gamer, if you only play on PC, you have nothing. You're on a nothing platform because it plays everything. Now, I can guarantee you that if PlayStation said we're going to bring Steam and Epic Game support to the PS6, allowing you to play the PC version of those games on your console on the PlayStation 6, everyone on the PlayStation side would say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Now we have everything. We have PlayStation games. Now we have all the PC games. It would be celebrated by true consumers that think about themselves as a consumer other than a fanboy with a list war. You cannot deny that Xbox saying, you want to play your Steam games on our console? We can absolutely let you do that is an amazing thing and is not something to try and find a reason to mock it. Thoughts, Mag?
You know what? No, everything you just said, I don't have to repeat it because I understand and agree. The only thing that I will always say, and this is something that I stand, and this is where our gentleman's bet still falls into place, is our gentleman's bet still falls into place is I don't think all those other games are going to be, I don't think those other games as it stands right now are going to the Xbox platform.
Well, PC, our gentleman's bet, Mag, was a single player first party game.
Yes.
Had to be one of their studios.
So technically,
it had to be single player.
Technically, I would lose if the Returnal thing actually goes through, and then they actually work through the negotiations and they agree to it. Then yes, I'd have to bend the knee. I know some people want to get into the semantics of it and say, well, technically they made the game before Sony bought them, so they were kind of a third party studio before. So kind of, you know what I mean? Like they made the game before, and then Sony bought them after the game was released. They had a timed exclusive with them, then they bought them afterwards. So I'm like, well,
it wasn't a first-party studio when the game released. That's true.
That's correct.
Now, the funny thing, audience,
that being the case, that could be the door, dude. That could have been the door that says, hey, you know, we eventually want to release on whatever, on Xbox or whatever. And they'll say, okay. And then Sony's like, okay, maybe down the road. And then they kind of walked away from it for several years. I mean, it sold 1.1 million copies. It did well because the studio is smaller, so it turned a healthy
probably
profit.
More than that. After
the last time I checked, I think it was 1.1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
just
either
so you
way,
guys know,
it's first party now, so I don't know, whatever.
this gentleman's bet, it's not because I like Mag or because we're buddies. I can't think of a time when I held somebody to a bet where they had to pay out or go run up down the street naked. I've just never like had a bet with someone because I don't want to be on the receiving end of losing bets. So I just I don't bet. I don't put money on the line. I don't put my bare sack walking down the street on the line. So the gentleman's bet between Mag and I is basically just, I guess he has to say I was wrong and I get to say I was right. And if it never happens or takes forever, we'll just wait. But at this point, the funny thing about the gentleman's bet is none of us have anything to lose, even if you're a diehard PlayStation fan. And we're going to get into that because this is a major topic of discussion. And Mag it was first to big content on it this morning. So thank you, BT Maverick. Appreciate it. Do you know the Brook Boy Insider? Thank you for the $2 super. Says, hey, Mag, and quote, I'm not an insider, Colt. Who put me in his place? Today, do you know the Brook Boy Insider was talking on Twitter, and he said something about how Colt and Mag know people and they talk to people, which is partially and incompletely true in different ways. But I told, do you know the Brook Boy Insider, and this guy he was arguing with, I've always say, I'm not really an insider. Sometimes I occasionally talk to people who are insiders. Mag has some people that he says he knows. So take that at face value as you will, as stuff comes true and when it doesn't. So we appreciate you.
I've never said I was an insider. I always keep saying I'm not an insider.
So what do you call yourself?
I just hear stuff. Nothing. I'm just a guy.
You're the messenger.
People tell me stuff, but I'm not like a full-time, one of those guys what's his name, like Jeff Grubb or those other guys who literally have a career just, getting those inside scoops, and that's where they make all their money. The Tom Hendersons of the world and everything else. It's not my job. I just hear something and I report it, and I always can. And then the funny thing is, when I do my videos, I always at the end I say, do you believe that this is happening or whatever else? I leave it open for discussion, not to be a complete a-hole about it and attacking people. I'm like, do you believe it or not? I'm presenting you information, whether it's true or not, whether it comes true or not. But people get so insanely twisted in their own pathetic heads. Whatever's wrong with them in their personal life, I have no idea. But there's so many people who are really mentally disturbed out there, and they probably shouldn't have access to social media because they're really harmful people. So it's
that's a good point, because you got some personal insults and some
I had
angry comments.
I had death threats last year about the Project Latitude, which came true. You know what I mean? I was gonna say something, but too early in the stream. But you know what I mean? Like, I had death threats over that stuff, and I'm like, are you guys for real? Like, maybe you should go see a psychiatrist, go talk to somebody. And that's why I'm trying to push for that positivity thing. I'm just like, guys, I don't care what you play and I don't care what it is. Let's play games. And I'm friends with everybody. That's the funny thing. You know what I mean?
This might defraud me, but I've often reported on leaked hardware specs, or I was talking to someone recently that they were like, I don't even think there's going to be an OEM console from Asus or Lenovo, or there's just going to be an Xbox console. There's not going to be this hybrid thing that other people slap the Xbox logo on. After I've made quite a few videos about it. And when you talk about the way that people react to gaming news, it's funny if you take a step back, and I don't know if this is me being a fraud, but if you take a breath and say, Colt is talking about the possibility or the leaked rumor about this hardware power and what it could possibly do to games, and people are supposed to get excited, like, oh, what could it be? And I understand that people can get let down if something doesn't pan out the way that a leaked or reported insider track pans out. But when you take a step back and take a breath, I'm literally talking about a video game system that is supposed to power entertainment video games to your enjoyment.
Fun.
And it should be enjoyable to think, oh my gosh, what could Borderlands 5 look like on the next generation console? I'm just saying a game. What could Borderlands 5 look like if it was truly next generation and it used all this stuff, and the Xbox controller has amazing haptics, better than the PS5 and all this stuff. And then the report ends up not being true, and people are like, oh my gosh, you liar, go vacuum yourself into space and delete your save file. I can understand being frustrated if somebody continually tells you things that never come true, But for, you know, we talk about Detective Siege, we talk about you, we talk about me. Yeah, you could list a group of things that we have gotten wrong or off the mark or changed. And then you could also put a big list of things that we talked about that were right. Like when I report on the Xbox Lockhart, which ended up being the Xbox Series S, it wasn't because I data mined in like Jez Corden did. It wasn't because I'm an insider. I just talked to enough people who said they knew, and I thought, I can make this into a video. Sorry if this bores you guys, but my job as a content creator is to provide you entertainment and entertaining content to illustrate what could be and what is available now. Like when I talk about Judas looks amazing, it's going to come out by holiday 2025. Well, now it's not coming out this year at all. And if you want to come kick me upside the head, kick my dog and all that stuff, maybe you do need to go outside. There is a difference. I shouldn't be reporting on stuff unless I absolutely know it's true, but it just we don't live in that world, and people like to be excited about if so-and-so is going to get drafted to the team they want to, or if so-and-so is going to break the home run record by the end of the season. They want to hear about that possibility, but there's a different kind of content creator that's not Mag or myself that continually harps and bashes everything and says, don't play Starfield, don't buy an Xbox, you know, these games are trash. And I try not to say that, I say it too much, but I want to get into the stuff because I could just sit here and preach all day. You guys are all amazing. Shout out to 600 plus people here. Hit the like button. We're going to get into the news. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for being patient. $20 super chat says, Colt, if the console war is over, why do Sony keep games away from Xbox like Lost Soul Aside, Stellar Blade, Neo? I can keep going. Well, Neo and Stellar Blade were not their games. Stellar Blade is now their game because they bought the studio. Lost Soul Aside is not their game. Those are third-party money-hatted games. Those are games that they paid for their console. But they paid for those games already. The change is happening right now, Mag. Herman Holtz and I forgot, Hiroki Totoki and the other CEO of PlayStation are deep in discussion and business-changing plans. It's so funny, Mag. Tell me what your opinion is. 2024 Xbox Project Latitude, they're going fully third party. It's over. And then here we are a year later. PlayStation is in the genesis where Xbox was about a year ago.
Sorry, the comment section is absolutely on fire right now, and they're so funny. Malik, the only scumbag in the chat, though, but everybody else is pretty funny. Anyways, I'm just joking. But either way, I'm not joking about you, Malik.
So Xbox is like giving up their games to third party a year ago, and here we are a year later, and PlayStation is in that, earlier Genesis part of it, but it's. Yeah.
I'm still not convinced entirely about all of that stuff. Some of the things make sense. I mean, like the live. I know it's like the common thing everybody's gonna say. Like the live service stuff. It makes sense. It's multiplayer games that you want the biggest player base possible because that will keep the game alive. So why deny that from anything? Like, for example, I thought that Helldivers should probably have launched on everything, even under the Sony banner. I think it would have still been fine, and they could have taken their 70% cut right off the rip, and it would have been just, you know what I'm saying? And they could have put it everywhere. I mean, it's not like the game suffered. I mean, it really got carried by Steam and to a smaller extent PlayStation, but it did very well. But, I mean, just to open up to everybody would have been just fine. However, now you've got this talk about Returnal. Again, I don't want to break it down. We've already discussed it. And then I don't know what's going to happen beyond that. I really don't know. However, I see them still as protective of some of those bigger titles, but we did discuss the possibilities, and that's what discussing is all about. Discussing is not all about fact. Like, is that how real life is, you doorknobs? It ain't like that in real life. In real life,
there's too many unknowns.
Hey, how? Yeah, like Colt, how about if I just say, like, to you right now, be like, let's say we're talking about baseball or something, and then I'm like, hey, dude, how awesome would the Seattle Mariners be if, like, if you guys got Vladdy Guerrero from the Blue Jays or something, and everybody's like, that's not a fact, it's not a fact, and I'm like, it's a discussion, you dummies.
I mean, just sprinkle in there's somebody's talking about a rumor, like somebody thought they heard someone talk about bringing Vladimir over to the Mariners, like, then it's a discussion that happens. I guarantee that's a discussion that happens on the baseball scene, on YouTube and Reddit and you name it. But Malik says, don't report on things until it's solid. Yeah, absolutely. Like you shouldn't. Like, and I don't report on things. I make videos about. I work really hard on my channel. I write my scripts out. My scripts are loaded full of, it's possible, we're hearing, it's very likely that, there are reports that, insiders are saying, like these are loaded in my scripts. And just ask me if you want a public disclosure request, ask me for my Google Documents on those videos I made, and you can highlight all the times I use what I would call my legal buffer words. Like, it's very likely that they're saying this, the rumored such and such. I sprinkle those on in every paragraph because people are going to say it's not fact. Because they looked at Mag's Returnal coming to Xbox headline and his thumbnail, and they're like, "Go F yourself."
And Lindsay says, and Malik, this is just for you, for listening comprehension. Maybe you missed that part in elementary school. Fair games. I put, what's happening with this game? ? That's not a fact. I'm asking a question. There's another video I'm not doing, so I'll just tell you what the thumbnail. I made the thumbnail anyway, and the thumbnail's hilarious. I got the chick from Stellar Blade with my head on it, and it's so funny. But it says Switch 2 port. Is it possible?
I need you to send me that one private.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. And it says Switch 2 port. Is it possible? With a ? Malik. Today, Returnal being considered for Xbox with a ? These are all discussion points. These are not fact. The last video that I put as a fact, as a matter of fact, is right here. Canceled. Contraband. And that was the last time I put something solid on there.
That's a good thumbnail.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. And so I did that, and that's basically it. Or I put, here's another one from like 2 months ago. Could Fable be 2027 with a ? Are we all clear, class, as to what's happening right now? Yes,
I don't use as many question marks.
That is how I frame these things.
Good
what I mean?
on
When
you.
I do that, I'm just trying to portray that this is a discussion, not fact. It's not like I put a video saying Fable coming 2027, but the morons of this world will take, let's say, a thumbnail like mine, and then post it and then say Fable coming 2027. And I'm like, that is not the context at all.
Yeah.
You single-celled organisms. And so as a result of that, people are so stupid and they do stuff like that. And then instead of going after the moron who posted that, they come after me. And I'm like, you guys don't even watch the video. So I noticed that today, like some of the people I banned from the channel who, one of them, oh man, he said some, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
They're intolerant and lazy because if they watch the video, they don't want to listen for those words. They don't.
He didn't watch the video, and I know he didn't watch the video. So I said, you know what, dude? I said, I've had enough of you. You're banned. And I banned him, and then I banned another guy. And then you know how you can go on YouTube and you can go back and you check all the comments of one user? He commented like nasty things on like 6 or 7 of my videos that I never even saw until today. And I'm like, so this guy just literally just watches my videos to say something horrible. But you know how sometimes like the comments get lost in the mix because you can't read them all, right?
Yeah.
And so I just looked and I'm like, oh, this guy's a serious problem. So I wrote him back and I said, dude, I go, you obviously have a serious mental issue. I said, go seek some help. And then I said, and plus you're banned.
Yeah, what Mag's talking about is,
I'm like, I'm not putting up with that shit.
If you click on someone who's given you some crap in the comment section of your video, it will show you a lot of recent comments they've left on your channel. And you could just kind of see what type of person they are. Speaking of types of people out there in the world, I want to give a shout out to AGN in the chat, who is a fellow content creator who covers a lot of the arguments that people have online about gaming. He covers some of like the takes that people have about Xbox and PlayStation. He's got a channel with about 7,000 subscribers, and I don't know how. I think he's tagged me on Twitter, but I've watched quite a few of your videos, AGN. And he does like a really laid back, he has like himself in the corner. He's laid back on the mic and he's just, let's talk about what's going on here today on this breaking news. And he'll read comments and it's really enjoyable content. So check him out. He's AGN in the channel thing. And I watch there's so many huge channels out there, like 50 million times bigger than me. But the channels like AGN, like our size and his size, are so refreshing to watch. Like these up and comers, like Joe from Seattle's got like 20,000 subscribers or something. And I love watching his content. It's so enjoyable to watch. a big shout out to AGN and the work that he does. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And I hope you're having fun while you're doing it. Look like you're enjoying it. But I remember being at 7,000 subs. So freaking fun to be able to make content and connect with the community. So I wanted to give you a shout out since I saw you in here. Let's see. So anyway, that was a wrong answer for Phase 23. But he says, why is Sony keeping games away? Yeah, they're like Meg said, they're going to keep certain games away, and they're gonna dip their toe in the water. But it's over. Like they've put their most profitable and popular game is coming to Xbox. And then another one with Helldivers 2. There's a rumor that's really strong that Lego Horizon, nobody cares about Lego Horizon, but Herman Holtz is cool with putting his absolute baby, Aloy, his IP of Horizon on, even though it's a Lego game, I think that's not the end. I think we're going to see Horizon Zero Dawn come to Xbox, even though it's like 8 years old. And then there's that strong rumor that is being discussed about Returnal. And that's a single player AAA game from Housemarque. So PlayStation is absolutely going to be doing different things. And it's a cause and effect thing, right, Mag? Like Xbox did this, their games are going to PlayStation. PlayStation, like I said last week, PlayStation can absolutely put any game they want on Xbox. They can put Spider-Man and God of War tomorrow, and the console sales for PS5 would not slow down considerably or even noticeably. And I really, truly believe that. Mag P, thank you for the super, says, Mag, I hope your wife is doing better. Update for us.
She's doing lovely, yes. She's doing lovely. She's still got about another 5 weeks of recovery, but she is doing well. She's up walking. I did a special video today, which not the one that that we're talking about. I did another video. It's a new
Returnal video on my channel.
Yeah. That's for you, baby. No, this new video I'm doing is going to be something special, and it's something I've been working on for a very long time, and I'm super excited for it. So
awesome.
That's going to be coming out sometime, maybe tomorrow, depending on how fast I can edit it. But she was up there filming for me and everything else, and so she's getting there. And
is she well enough to like smack you upside the head and throw shoes at you and stuff?
Oh no, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Malik, don't preach to me, man. You're like sometimes, dude. Like you're ridiculous, eh?
Yeah.
You hear him in the chat? The guy's the smack talking for 15 minutes, and he goes, "Do better, Mag." Oh, dude, shut up.
Malik,
Please.
last time I checked, you were not the manager of Mag. You don't. He doesn't work for you. So no, yeah. Mag's doing amazing. He told you he's covering his bases. Let's have a discussion. Question mark. Yeah. This is what we're hearing.
We just explained it to you. Whatever, man. Doesn't matter. He's done.
Fahim goes, Mag, how dare you do that to Eve's body?
Oh, dude, the picture is so funny, and it's like the look on my face is so hilarious. So it's just like it's one of those things. But yeah. Whatever. Anyways.
Joe Abe, thanks for the 5.
Let's talk about gaming.
Thank you to whoever gifted me the channel membership. I'm pretty sure it was KY Bob. Thank KY Bob. He's amazing. Ruin with the Canadian 5 says, I put 200 hours into Starfield, 100% of the game. I still find it mediocre personally. Also, happy Monday, Pookies. Yeah. There is something.
Happy Monday.
I worked on a big video with Red Wolf about Starfield. We will cover some of that mediocre stuff that you have a problem with in that video. Jax82 with the 5. Thank you so much. Says, I recently had to go back to my unmodded save in Starfield because I wasn't getting achievements from level 29. I had to go all the way back to level 13. Very annoying. Bethesda's fixed a lot of modded mods that are achievement friendly. But yeah, I've been without achievements for like over 2 years. I've been playing only mod because I just kind of spice up the game a little more. Danny Passion, thank you so much. Says, Battlefield 6 is a lot of fun. Can't wait for the full release. Do you know Broke Boy Insider? Thank you for the 2. Says, Colt, why even accepted my Xbox request? I didn't go into any of those. I just saw them all pop up. I will go through them, bro, and I want to talk to you guys on chat. Dark CMF, good friend, says, you could tell the younger folks because they don't remember how it was with the Super Nintendo versus the Genesis. Most games back then were multiplat. That was the norm. Yeah, and they still are. The majority of the games, like 90% of the games are multiplats across Xbox and PC and PlayStation. Grandpa's Barbecue Gamecat says, Mag, you forget we're deep into living the clown world now, you fraud.
Dude, the clown world. You know what the worst thing in the world is? Allowing everybody in the world to have access to the internet. I think there should actually be a screening process for certain people because see what happens is in the 80s where you and I grew up, right? Well, we were born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s,
Yep.
and in the 90s, of course. There was no social media, so every town had a couple of idiots that everybody was like, "Oh God!"
That
don't
wrote
talk
to the
that guy. He's
paper.
so-"
They were
Yeah, they're like,
letters to
just-
the editor.
Yeah, the letters to the editor, but like there was still like you could avoid them, right? But there was only like one or two per town or whatever. But
Yep.
then all of a sudden the internet exposed us to the one or two per town multiplied by the entire planet. So now the problem is you've got millions of the dumbest people on Earth that are out there and they're just talking and being toxic and negative and horrible. And it's not because I don't think they're always like that. I think it's an outlet for them because whatever's going on in their life, maybe their life is completely miserable. Maybe they're just miserable, whatever the case may be. Maybe dad didn't pay enough attention to him when he was a kid. I don't know. And they take it out on the world. And it's like, and you know why they can do that? Because there's no chance they would do that to most people's faces because 9 times out of 10, they're going to get punched in the mouth.
Like many of those people don't have a lot of face-to-face interaction, so they wouldn't know how to talk to a person. And
trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson said it best. He says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
right.
true.
And so that's basically true. So what happens is they can hide behind a keyboard. No one can stop them. No one knows who they are or whatever. And they feel this like sort of surge of that endorphin rush of being able to get attention. And that's what social media's poison is all about, is getting that attention. And as a result, it's horrible in that respect. But at the same time, we have almost 700 absolutely amazing people here. And that for all the bad ones you get exposed to, there's millions and millions of wonderful people out there. And it's our job, not just our job, but everybody in this chat and listening to the show afterwards. It is our jobs to be able to go through that, filter out the idiots and the toxic people and find the good ones and build a community around that. And just like Wilmy Hood. All right. Wilmy Hood's a dear friend of mine. We talk every single day. You know that? You know, Wilmy and I talk every single day. And you know,
That's
thing
awesome.
is, and he tells, dude, he's blocked like 40 or 50,000 people. And he says, I just make my circle what it is, and I continuously work on it and build a positive community around himself. And that's what he does, right? And I'm not saying I'm blocking 40, 50,000 people. That's
if you come at me with an insult when I'm talking about gaming, if you don't like the opinion or you don't like the info and you call me a name or you insult me, I like it being in a restaurant. I will walk out. If it was my restaurant and I heard somebody arguing or yelling at other customers, I would tell them to leave. And I've blocked people because of that. But you know, Aaron Greenberg, the marketing lead of Xbox, said to me, we were talking about how people act on the internet and how people treat things when it comes to video gaming. And he says, Colt, they're the 3%, and that's all you should give them is 3% of your time. That's it.
There it is. Well, that's what it is.
Beautiful.
It literally is 3%. But like, I didn't see that many people today that were that bad, but there was like a good handful of people. But if you actually boil it down over the thousands of people that I had interaction with today, it was basically 3%. So that actually makes sense. Magnum has the best quote of the day. You need idiots though to make people like me look smart.
That's same for me.
Magnum.
We need to lower the general IQ in the gene pool so that Mag and I and Magnum can look like very smart individuals. Yeah.
Anyways, we're here
Jesse
for
James
fun,
says
man.
Aaron
We're not here
Greenberg
for
blocks comments on X. Aaron Greenberg only allows people that follow him to comment because he has become the punching bag. When he's like, hey, we're excited to announce this is coming to here, and people are like, go blah, 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 or this game sucks, or this is woke. That stuff gets loaded up on it's pretty ridiculous. You've got a representative of a game company and his comment section is full of people who absolutely hate Xbox. It's a problem. It really is a problem. People, they have no self-control. We're going to talk about Sean Layden in just a minute. And I'll tell you about self-control. I barely have enough, but I like Sean Layden a lot. And the things he said recently, I'm like, I don't want to call the guy out. I don't want to be insulting, but come on, guy. I want to talk about that in just a moment. Let me read the last of these. Loop73 says, I farted on my cat. Thank you for being a channel member and such an amazing comment. RDX Son of Fett says, I'm going to try and get the Xbox ROG Ally, but I can't decide between the X and the S. Help me decide, please. Long live Dealer Gaming. Thank you for the $7 super chat, RDX Son of Fett. It depends on what kind of money you want to spend.
Basket.
Yeah. The lotion in the bath. It depends on how much
If
money
he
you
doesn't
want to
put the
spend.
lotion, yeah, that's the thing. Money.
I've got the $700 one, and man, sometimes it just barely runs new games. Maybe one day I should complain about how unenjoyable that thing can be sometimes. So I would recommend the most powerful one, and I hear that it's the X, so it's probably going to be $800, but know what you're getting into. Xbox for the win. Thank you for the 5, says Mag. I hope you prepare for all the hate you might get if Returnal doesn't come to Xbox. I hope it does, though. Wish you and Colt the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But no, I'm not worried about any of that because I posted it as a report, not as fact.
Yeah.
So I mean, people, like, we already talked about it for the first hour of the show here about how people basically hear what they want to hear, read what they want to read, whatever, and that's fine. Let them do that. Let them do that. I will surround myself with the great people in this community, not the dumb ones. So there's that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, Meg. I get a lot of grief still for a 5-year-old video about Dying Light 2 being exclusive to Xbox because 2 insiders were telling me that, yeah, they were the insiders, were telling me that Xbox was either going to buy the Dying Light studio, not Techland. What are they called? Yeah, Techland. That they were going to buy the studio. That doesn't sound right to me, but it is. They were going to buy the Dying Light studio, or they were going to help develop the game. I've covered this before. And they were going to make it exclusive to Xbox for at least a year because they were going to help fund the game and develop it. That didn't end up coming true. And in the video, I had all the words. We're hearing this. It's likely that. It's being reported that this. But yeah, don't worry about it, Mag. Tim, Dark CMF, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Hung out with him in E3 or Xbox Showcase in 2021. He says, or 2022. Yeah. He says, Mag, make them demonstrate the correct usage of there, and 2, and 2 in order to use the internet. Yeah, give them a test that they have to know.
Or loser. Here's my favorite one. Loser and looser. And I go, like your mom, loser or loser? What are you trying to call?
Oh my gosh. The worst is when someone goes, like, I'll say something and someone's like, you're retarded. But they'll use YOUR. Yeah. And I'm like,
That's my favorite. By the way, for who was it? Was it Maverick? He was, I think it was Maverick earlier in the show. He's like, I was off for 183 days. So while we're doing the show here, obviously I got my Xbox controller here, my baby blue one to match my beautiful eyes. I've been online. I changed my status to online. Okay, so my Xbox is on right here on this third. I got a 4th screen here, and the Xbox is on, and I'm flipping around looking.
Is this the same one, or is mine darker? Or yours is light blue?
What? No, mine's light blue, dude.
Yeah, hold it back up again. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so I got that. It's a beautiful controller. It's my favorite controller. I had way too many. I actually sold about 10 of them, I put them on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, what do I need these? And I'm like, I sold them all. I still have 1, 2. How many you got? 1. I still got four controllers, and I sold like 10 of them. I had so many controllers, but and then PlayStation, I only have the 2.
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyways, I'm on Xbox right now, so don't invite me to a party. Obviously, I can't talk to you. But
that would be hilarious to have a little grammar, a little slight intelligence check before you can go to a comment section. But it is what it is. RDX Son of Fett, thank you for the $2.79 super chat. Says that some leadership isn't bold and the worst people, but people are just the worst no matter what. Whoever is going to lead them the way they are. But DC Gaming, one last one. We'll get into the next part of news. DC Gaming, thank you so much for the 10. Says, every industry that does subscription revenue does not pay out that well. Pure sales will always be better than a sub payout since payout is based on playtime. I agree with Sean. Interesting. Let's talk about Sean Layden because I do not agree with what DC Gaming says or with what Sean Layden has said. Sean Layden said, and I quote, well, I guess I'll set it up. He did an interview and he was talking about how bad Game Pass is, which is really weird because, he helped push along PlayStation Plus and the tiered system and everything. He says, quote, you could do all kinds of financial jiggery pokery for any sort of corporate service to make it look profitable if you want to. Stop. This is a direct shot at Phil Spencer and the Xbox leadership and Satya Nadella saying that Xbox Game Pass is profitable and showing the revenue and talking about how much they make and how advantageous it is. He says, you take enough costs out and say that's off the balance sheet, and oh, look, it's profitable now. Okay, stop again. Sean Layden is saying that you can not include Xbox first-party games in Game Pass and they say, well, on its own, it's profitable. But we already covered this, Sean Layden. Like, we already talked about this. If you truly believe that every studio that works for Xbox, every first-party studio making games is losing money, that's what it'd have to be, a large sum of... so Xbox put out 13 games this year. Hexen, Tony Hawk, Grounded 2, Doom Dark Ages, Oblivion Remaster, Avowed, South of Midnight, right? All these games. You would have to believe that the majority of those games lost money after the $5 billion in revenue from Game Pass to not say that you can't write off Xbox's first-party expenses. It makes no sense, because if Xbox was not making money from their first-party games by building them and selling them and putting them on Game Pass and cloud, it doesn't add up. And I'm not a financial expert, but Mag, there's no way that Sean Layden is sitting there thinking that they are losing money on all their first-party studios, but making it up in Game Pass. Like, it doesn't make sense. He says, the real issue for me is things like Game Pass. Is this healthy for the developer? They're not creating value. They're putting it in a marketplace, hoping it explodes in profit sharing and overages. That stuff is just, you pay me X dollars an hour, you build a game, and you put it on your servers. I don't think it's really inspiring for game developers. He said it makes them wage slaves. Before I go to you, Mag, Sean Layden, I don't understand. I really like this guy, and he works for Tencent. He's amazing when he worked for PlayStation. He's super smart, but what he's saying sounds like he doesn't even know what in the world is going on in the gaming world and how the industry works, because... oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Because when a game goes to Game Pass, either from Xbox first party or if Xbox pays a developer to put their game in, like Borderlands 3 or whatever, none of those games have been made only to be on Game Pass. They're not a wage slave. You don't go to Double Fine and say, hey, you're a wage slave. You're gonna make this game so we can put it on Game Pass, because... Quite simple answer. Keeper will be sold on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox Console, and it'll be on Game Pass. So everything that he's saying to continually bash Xbox Game Pass when it has been proven over and over that it's profitable, it doesn't make any sense. Meg, I don't understand. What is he trying to say that I'm missing? Because there's no way that I've got it better than he does.
I think that first of all, he's mentioned it before. This is not the first time he's talked about, like, for example, subscription services, whatever. And he has brought up before that he's not a fan of it. So I think that what happened here, wasn't he on a podcast? He was on a show, right?
It was an interview. I can't remember who it was with.
Yeah, an interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw the whole thing go down and whatever, and he was talking. I was like, "Oh my god!" He was saying some pretty ugly things about Microsoft. Now, listen, Microsoft. I'm not a fan of them as a company, as a corporation, but I'm not a fan of most corporations anyway. But that's fine, whatever. You can talk about that stuff. That's great. And he said what he said, but like again, it's just he's not a fan of the subscription model service. He was not part. I mean, the subscription that they had when he was there on PlayStation was the PS Plus thing, right? Where sort of it was a supplemental service. So I think in like the way that he ran his business models were, listen, we're selling our quote unquote market value. Remember he talked about that at the end of last gen. He goes, by the way, games are going up, which they did, $10. Yeah. Right. And he said the games are going up because they got to match the budgets and everything else of what these games are starting to cost. It's not realistic to be $60 anymore. Fine. It happened. And he was right in that respect. However, he did start talking smack about Game Pass back then, and he was saying, I remember he was talking about that. He said that if a AAA model, the way that they do it at selling games at 60 is not sustainable, he's like, how on earth can this subscription model be this fledgling subscription model be sustainable? So I think that that's where he was coming from in that respect. Okay. And obviously, fast forward 4 years now, and his views have not changed. And he's working for a third-party company, right? So I think what he's doing is he's angling it towards his feelings on how business is run, because he wants people to be able to what I'm trying to say is that he's bigging up his business model because that's what he represented before.
Okay, because
that's what he's
Tencent is
representing. You see what I'm getting at?
Tencent is typically a publisher that sells their games outright and doesn't put a lot of them on the service. It's like there's a famous clip of I'll go back to you in just a second. There's a famous clip of developers. What's his name? Our favorite dude.
Developers.
Steve Ballmer was asked, "What do you think about the upcoming iPhone that Apple's going to make?" And he was like, "What? Nobody wants that. They want a BlackBerry." And he got absolutely embarrassed over that. So that's the angle you're going with, that he's protecting their business venture.
He's protecting his business venture because he's working for Tencent.
Okay.
And so I think that by saying that, I think as far as he's going to be working for companies that have the same business model that Sony had and now Tencent has, he's going to defend that to the ends of the earth because that's who he works for. There's no way on earth he's going to sit down in an interview and say, yeah, Game Pass is great, right? Like, he's never going to say that. And he goes, yeah, it's profitable, it's fine, because what it does is that it's going to poke holes into his business model, right? As a result of that, he has to, does this start to make sense now? Sorry, I had to sort of brainstorm.
No, it's good. I never even thought of it that way.
I had to brainstorm this live on the air in front of everybody because I had a million thoughts and I was trying to formulate it and funnel it into one thought, but now I'm sort of understanding, or I'm getting it out there properly. So the point is that he's going to defend his business model. By the way, another thing I was going to say, sorry, one more thing real quick. That of all companies to talk about sustainable business models, and never mind that, you want to talk about business ethics, the last people you should be talking about is Tencent. Because Tencent, I've said this before and I'll say it again, the Chinese in business are not to be trusted. And the reason why is that what they do, you see how they fly under the radar. I've told you this before and I'll tell you this again because I know what they're doing. By keeping a certain percentage of their interests and their stocks in certain companies under a certain percentage, the Chinese government will not intervene and ask them for a portion, or even to get, or even to be able to pay tax on that kind of thing, or even to look into it for their own business interest. So by keeping it under 10% or 5% or 8% or whatever it is, what ends up happening is that they fly under the radar of the Chinese government and of course the American government by not actually purchasing any of these companies, right? So what they do is that slowly basically it's like a war of attrition. 10% here, 10% there, 10% here, 10% there, 5% here, 15% there. And all of a sudden, the Chinese now have their fingers in every single pie on planet Earth when it comes to the video game industry. And what are they doing? Slowly but surely taking it from the inside. It's no different than what happened in the 80s when it came to real estate in Los Angeles with the Japanese. The Japanese did the same thing, a quiet war on the United States. What do? They started buying all the properties all over, here, there, here, there, here, there. The next thing you know, and nobody even realized it, that the largest landowner in Los Angeles, California started the state, not just Los Angeles, the state of California, were the Japanese. And so, like I said, they were slowly but surely kind of getting in there and taking over. Tencent has anybody who represents Tencent have no right to talk about business ethics. First of all corporations are scummy in one way or another, but Tencent, they're not really scummy per se, but they're certainly sneaky, and I don't like them.
Yeah, and I couldn't find any Tencent games that are on Game Pass. I did a quick search while you were talking.
Oh, yeah. I saw the super chat just come in now, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any Tencent games. God Emperor Sofa King, thanks for the 2. Says, doesn't Tencent games go on Game Pass as well? I couldn't, excuse me, I couldn't find any that are on there. Maybe Sean Layden's very dismissive and slightly insulting comments about developers putting their games on Game Pass, because he's not just insulting Xbox, he's insulting any studio that signs a deal to put their game on Xbox Game Pass at any point. Maybe Tencent themselves internally says, no, we're not. They've asked us, we're not putting our games on there. Unless anybody could find a Tencent game that has been on there, I would assume if there are, they must be very infrequent, or they were before Sean Layden worked with them. But I can't imagine Sean Layden asking them not to as well. His leaders have probably made that decision. But Danny Passion, I did read your super chat. I went through it pretty quickly because we were talking about Battlefield, but you said Battlefield 6 is a lot of fun, can't wait for full release. And we were talking about how much people have played it. If I missed a different one, let me know and I'll go look on a different place that I can find it. But yeah, shout out to over 730 people watching the show. Hit the like button. This is Colteastwood. I'm here with Mag as he takes a quick break, and we are live for Ecstasy Podcast. This is a gaming podcast where we talk about PlayStation, Xbox, the changing console war, and so much more. There's a lot of stuff coming forward that we're going to talk about. Appreciate everybody who has supported us. A lot of cool stuff that we're covering. Good friend Danta Quezada, excellent mod. Good friend says, Mag and Colt pulling a Dreamcast guy with the pro gamer move. Pro gamer with the controllers up there. It's an absolute bloodbath. I love Dreamcast guy. He's a good dude. All right, here we go. Danta Quezada says, Layden works for 10 cents, so spare me his 2 cents. I don't know. It just seems weird to me, Donnie, that he seems to protect PlayStation's dignity and protect like their way of doing business at the cost of insulting the Xbox platform. And I'm like, bro, you don't work there anymore. They walked you out of the building. And
he walked out with a lot of money.
I guess. So, I mean, I can see people be, my alma mater. I went to college here, and I buy everything. I paint my house the same colors at college because I love it. I'm like, Sean Layden worked a decade at PlayStation, but they asked him to leave because he said in 2019, Mag, let me grab a couple of nuggets for you. Sean Layden said that gaming should not be a walled garden in 2019 before they replaced him with Jim Ryan. He said that they were working toward a console-less generation. He said in the future, PlayStation won't have a console. We need to be prepared for a console generation, and that more gamers should be able to play more games. Where's the tweet? Right, it's really quick here. Sean Layden said he's laid down an ambitious prediction that he sees a post-console world where PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo are more unified than ever. He maintains that PlayStation is the best gaming experience. This is February 2019 when he was still leading PlayStation. He says PlayStation is still the best. They have the great experience. He says, I don't want to put too fine a point on this because it might upset people that I work with. This is Sean Layden talking in 2019. But I think effectively we're looking at a kind of post-console world where you can have quality gaming experience across a variety of technologies. Be it Switch, Xbox, tablets, or phones, there are great experiences across all of these, and we need to recognize all of that. End quote. And you guys tell me that Sean Layden is protecting PlayStation's dignity and bashing Game Pass and Xbox's maneuvers forward when PlayStation's copying some of them. It's outstanding. It's what a great place to live in, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Mag?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much. Again, there's nothing more I can add to what you just said. It pretty much covered all of it. So I don't want to just ad nauseum saying the same thing. But yes,
all right.
Thrusted Slug. Thank you for the kind words, dude. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
It's a great name. Sorry, I had to call it. It was a great name. Thrusted Slug. That's a wonderful name.
We do
like
get
it's now my new favorite. It's my new favorite name. Sorry, Karen's raisin potato salad. I know you're out there still. I saw you earlier in the chat.
It's not a competition. You guys just rise above the rest with some of these names. Let's completely change tracks without any smooth segue and talk about Crimson Desert, the game that looks too good to be true. Was supposed to come out this year. Open world, God of War meets Assassin's Creed meets Zelda meets Lord of the Rings. Right? I know you're hyped about this game, but I learned a little bit with this delay. But tell everybody what they can expect from Crimson Desert and what you've heard as you dug into the news.
I got to tell you, Colt, I'm starting to get this sinking feeling in my heart. And the sinking feeling is whether it's a video game, whether it's a movie, or whether it's a woman, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh my God, there's something that's just not connecting with this game all of a sudden. And what I'm doing is I'm now disconnecting myself because I don't want to be emotionally hurt by this game. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to leave it, see how it goes. When they finally release this damn thing, then I will see what people are talking about and then maybe give it the time of day that it either deserves or doesn't deserve, depending on how it goes. Right? So, yeah. I mean, dude, I've got that feeling, and I'm sure the chat is probably, the chat's probably with me, that there's just something up. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to be that guy either, Mag. I know you.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be negative, but I'm sorry, Colt. Like when they first showed it, I was like, "Holy crap!" Like I almost broke my neck, like rubbernecking to turn around to see what that was. Yeah, I was like,
they put out an hour gameplay clip. Like, I mean, hour is bulletproof, and it's like, this looks incredible.
I know, but the delays, the talks. I mean, have you heard anything else? I mean, I just there's something about it, man.
I got an insight on it, but God Emperor of King, thanks for the 2, says they made Black Desert believe the hype. I didn't love Black Desert.
I didn't like Black Desert either.
And I tried to go back to it. And I'm like, what do you even do in this game? I need like somebody to hold my hand. But the insight I have is that I don't think this game is a like a Mind's Eye or a I don't know an example of. I don't think it's like one of these scams. Like it looks amazing, it's never going to come out. Like the Anaconda, which is like Anaconda or whatever it's called, was like the anime Grand Theft Auto, which looks amazing, but it's probably never coming out, or if it ever does, no one will ever see it. I don't know, but I don't really feel like Crimson Desert is a ghost, but they've shown over 2, maybe 3 hours of footage, like almost uncut. So that's far more than Fable's seen, but they're saying Q1 of 2026, which means, and I know they sent people to play it a whole bunch. So I feel, sorry, I'm going to get right to the point. I think it's coming out. I think it's coming out, but this is what worries me. This is what I was trying to get to.
Okay, go for it.
You guys are amazing. Thank you. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Thank you, almost 750 people. Let's get 750 people on. Share the video out. Just hit it, put it on socials or Reddit or wherever you know, Facebook or MySpace or whatever. Tell people to come check out the show. Meg and I would appreciate it. Crimson Desert is made by Black Pearl, who made Black Desert Online, and then they're making Crimson Desert. But they also made a game that's wouldn't be my type of game, but I was super excited about it. And it's called Dokev. Do you know what Dokev is, Mag?
Oh, what?
It was shown 3 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago, at Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. It's an open world city anime game where you play as these little short kids, like anime kids.
What?
And you can skateboard and rollerblade around. It's open city, and it had all this crazy, like, kooky music. But Dokev is made by Black Pearl. Yeah, that's what they're called. By Black Pearl Studio.
Dude, this sounds like a fever dream. But yeah, I get it.
Open up a tab and write Dokev. It's Dokev, one word. Dokev. Sorry, Dokev. And just load up the video and scrub like midway in, and you'll see like this open like tech city like South Korea, and the guys like on kids on a skateboard, and there's like little critters around, and it looks really cheesy, but it looks super fun. And it kind of are you seeing it now?
Yeah, I know I'm seeing it now. And it's funny. The first thing that popped up is what happened to Dokev? It's like,
yeah. I mean, it looks kind of cool. It's not like our thing, right? But what if it was really fun, right? So,
I mean, it could be. I mean, it looks good. It looks like a lot of fun.
Doesn't it look cool? So it was funny because way back in the day when that was first showcased, Gaz and I were live streaming on his channel, the Summer Games Fest. And when that came up, we were like, this looks so cool. It's like, it's so cheesy, but it looks cool. So I'm hoping I'm illustrating it for people that are just watching the show. But the other reason why I brought that up is everyone's like, Dokev's not coming out. And thanks to Happy Bomb for putting a link to their website for Pearl Abyss. I kept calling them Black Pearl. Pearl Abyss is the name of the studio. They're awesome. I made a video a couple of months ago about these amazing games that are coming in 2025 and 2026. One of them was a game called Plan 8. It looks unbelievable, Mag. It's called Plan 8. It's a military, future quasi-military action-adventure game. It has mature-looking graphics. It looks like a AAA modern UE5 game. Looks incredible, like Michael Bay explosions. And then I get to the end of the trailer, and it says Pearl Abyss. I'm like, what? And I look at the comments, everyone's like, this game's never coming out. Like, Pearl Abyss made this incredible trailer for Plan 8. That's another game you could check out. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like Ghost Recon Wildland meets, I don't even know. I covered it in my video.
The only one, yeah. Well, the only one I know is Plan B, but that's usually after a mistake at night. But anyways, yeah, I don't know about this Plan 8.
Plan 8 is after 8 times you're like, hey, one finally took. Yeah, but Plan 8 looks cool. But I mean, you get a 3-minute trailer that looks like, give me your money. Like you slap down the credit card, and it is nowhere to be found. And when I was making the video, I'm like I'm building a video about Plan 8 and all these other games. And I'm like, when does Plan 8 supposed to be released? And the information the internet gives me is like, we have no idea when this game's going to be released. They announced it 3 years ago. We haven't heard anything since. It's like, the point I'm getting to is Crimson Desert is delayed. I'm really hoping they're working on this game because I don't know when we're going to see Dokkaev and Plan 8 or whatever, but I don't know.
You know, the thing is, Colt, you know what I'm having a problem with these days is that a lot of trailers I see, because people hit me up all the time. They're like, Mac, did you see the trailer for this? Did you see the trailer for that? Did you see the trailer? And I'm like, I've never even heard of this game. And I'm like, oh, cool, let me check it out. And then I realize, I'm like, after a while, I'm like, I'm stopped trusting games that I don't, from companies I've never heard of or companies that don't have like a long proven track record. Like, I almost feel like at this point, is that if it's not an EA, if it's not a Microsoft Game Studios or PlayStation Studios or a Ubisoft or whatever, I'm like, I just, or whatever, what's it called? Damn it, the guys who make Dark Souls. Anyways, like those companies, I'm just like, right, FromSoft. And I'm like, I just don't trust these companies anymore because they're just not getting these games out unless the game is already like, okay, here it is, it's done, it's gone gold or whatever. Like, like even when they showed Stellar Blade the first time, I'm like, I've never heard of Shift Up, right? And I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this game or whatever. And then when the game finally came out, I'm like, all right, it's in front of me. It's a tangible product. I can see that, and that's all there is to it. Now I can trust it because it's out there. Got good reviews. I played it. It was my game of 2024. Big shock, big surprise in my opinion, and then the studio took off. Even Expedition 33, once again, when we watched the trailer, remember that we watched the trailer last year, and I'm like, who are these guys? And I'm like, it almost again seemed too good to be true to be a turn-based action RPG or whatever. And I'm like, this looks way too good to be real. And then when it finally came out, it happened, but it's so few and far between.
Well, you just proved
see these like.
You just proved your point. You're like, if it's not EA or Ubisoft or these big studios, I don't trust them to come out with the game. But these smaller studios are the ones who are actually winning people over. Did you see that, speaking of Ubisoft, did you see that Assassin's Creed Shadows was the #1 sold game in Europe, which means in the UK and the US and Canada that Assassin's Creed Shadows probably sold really well, if not still top 3. And a lot of people are like, oh, no one's going to buy it. Boycott it. Yasuke sucks. And the game is awesome. I'm glad I played it. But yeah. But I don't know about
my wife. I don't know. Like, it's just, I have to see now. I understand, like, the fact that they've got gamers playing this game, like they brought people out. They're like, hey, sit down, play this game or whatever. That means that they're doing something in a positive direction. The problem is, even if it does come out, I think that all the promises, I don't think they'll be able to follow through with everything that they promised they said that game was going to. That's all I'm trying to say, really. I'm not saying the game is not coming, especially when you're flying people out to play it and whatever and spending hours and hours playing it. That's great. But it may not live up to those expectations of what everybody either built up in their own mind or what they had shown in some of those trailers where you're like, oh, this is amazing. This is going to be the greatest game of the generation or whatever. And that's where I have my doubts. You know what I mean? I have a feeling they're not going to live up to those expectations.
I mean, you can get, it's funny. We were talking earlier in the show about like reporting on stuff and if it comes true or not, and having your expectations slashed or being disappointed. And there's a pretty big difference in somebody building a game and selling it to you and somebody selling you on an idea to maybe get excited about and that not coming true. Hopefully people are doing their due diligence if they watch other people's content or our content. Like, I've heard people say, I bought an Xbox console because of your channel, right? And I'm like, wow, I hope that's a good thing. For the most part, I'm sure people have enjoyed the games they've played, but I don't know. Let's talk about Gamescom because we're in kind of a tough situation on XSC Podcast where everything's going to kick off tomorrow night and we'll go through Wednesday and Thursday. And by the time you check back into the show next week, a lot of Gamescom information will feel 5 days old. So there's a few things that Xbox is talking about and a couple things they haven't mentioned, and I thought we would kind of go over what's going on and what's possible at Gamescom. I did hear about a really cool announcement that we'll hear about soon after Gamescom, but stuff is happening right now. We got Tokyo Game Show coming up, but Gamescom right now, Xbox is going to talk about the ROG Ally. I think that's where we'll get the pre-orders and the price. And you think the price is pretty much where everybody said it's going to be for the ROG Ally?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I did my video on it, and I said these are the prices that I was told may be the final prices. It made a lot of sense because those are the prices for the ROG Allies right now. Right, for the different models. And I'm like, well, why would they charge significantly less or whatever? It seems like it's going to be on par with what's already out in the market. We already did an entire X&C about that, so there's no point in even rehashing that. So I think that the prices will still stay the same. I think that as people are breaking down that ROG Xbox Ally X and all that stuff, they're talking about, well, you're going to buy this thing, you're not going to be able to play GTA 6 on it. You're not going to be able to play some of your other games and this and that. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, whatever. It is what it is. We're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about what we're going to see at Gamescom. And I think that what's going to happen, of course, they're going to be a big focus on that. I saw that Paris had some hands-on with it, right? Didn't he already do like a hands-on?
Yeah, I'm here. Hang on.
And Colt just leaves the show. That's it. He just walks away. That's it. But anyways, all seriousness, yeah, I think they're going to be showing that in detail. They're going to, basically go through all that because they're going to want to get that information out there. And then on top of all that information, they're going to want to have to justify that price. And so when they're going to look at like whether Xbox gamers or PC handheld enthusiasts, that's a pretty hefty price to pay either way. And so they're going to say, okay, listen, they're going to have to go in detail, very, very deep dive details as to why you're justifying paying upwards of, well, in Canada, $1,100, $1,200, $1,500 for this handheld. So they're going to have to do that. So Shinobi, it's always been that way.
It's always the mag show. Yeah. Could you tell I was taking off my pants off camera? That I was trying to like stay off camera while I did that. But
so here's my thought, Colt. Oh, sorry.
I've heard something about the Xbox ROG Ally power.
All right, go for it. I think it's going to be a beast of a machine. I'll tell you that.
I heard differently. It doesn't make any sense because it has an AI integrated chip. So it'll have, the FSR stuff that you can get some of that on the regular one. But this guy told me, I heard it's not that much more powerful than the current Xbox or the current ROG Ally X, which I don't have. I think I have the Z1. Wait, what do I have? I think he's saying it's the Z1 Extreme is the more powerful one. I don't know. I don't.
No, it's the X. X is the most powerful, or the more powerful one.
I don't have the box anymore. I don't even know which one I have. Hold on.
Where the box is in the name.
I wish. Yeah, I wish that that blue number was there because she was helping me pick which one I have.
Why is Doom the Dark Ages going to be featured at the Gamescom? What are they doing? What are they going to talk about? Some DLC? Sorry. I was just. No.
I mean, the show does go on. I don't want to pull off this protective case.
Well, no, you do your thing. What I was going to say is this, is that I think that what we're going to have to do is they're going to have to do a deep dive and show all the features, show its power, show what it can do, because they're going to have to, I mean, obviously, like I said, there's people here in this chat and everything else that are very educated in the gaming world and of course in hardware, but they're going to have to show everybody else why this thing is why you're going to want to buy this thing, why you're going to plunk all this money down or whatever, right? And so as a result of that, they're going to have to show all the features, details, how games run on it, how it operates, how you download things, this and that, whatever. So they're going to do all that, and they're going to show that, and then they're going to dovetail directly into games, which are going to be like, okay, we showed you the hardware, now we're going to show you the games that are going to go with it, or games that you could play on it one way or another. You'll be able to access through this handheld, and that of course includes Sony games. Right. So that being the case, I mean, you can showcase all of those different things. That's a selling point. That's another selling point. You can be like, hey, if you want an all-in-one box or whatever handheld, that is something that you could talk about as well and say, hey, listen, you get the best of Xbox, you get the best of PlayStation, and the best of third party all in this handheld right here. You could download this. You have all these other all these storefronts and whatever else. And so they're gonna have to do all that. Anyway, that being the case, that's what I see them moving on into the thing. But sorry, what I sort of went on a side tangent there as I was going through the Gamescom list here of the featured games. One of the featured games is Doom: The Dark Ages. Is there a DLC? Is there a DLC coming that I didn't know about? Like Indiana Jones, I know about. I mean, they show that here.
Where's Doom? I'm looking at this list.
As featured Doom: The Dark Ages, and then again, I know that Land of the Giants or whatever the hell it's called, the DLC.
Order of the Giants, yeah.
Order of the Giants. I always get it.
Jolly Green Giant is what it's called. The Indiana
Land
Jones.
of the Jolly Green Giant. Yeah.
I don't see that on the list. Hold on.
Overwatch, yeah, it's right next to Syntopia. Syntopia sounds like a place I'd like to live.
Yeah, I get.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Am I looking into different lists than you, or I just can't read?
Well, I'm on the official Gamescom website right now.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the Xbox,
Utopia.
the Xbox broadcast schedule.
Okay. No, I'm just looking at some featured games they put up.
Yeah, I don't know what
Doom:
The Dark Ages would have. It seems early for DLC for Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
But
Crimson Desert's right there.
It is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's on the main page as well. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me use the internet here. Gamescom. Weren't you supposed to do this stuff before the show? Yeah, I was. I had to run out I had to do a family errand today. Okay, hold on.
Colt was holding my giant jug of water, so he didn't have any free hands to be able to type and look things up.
So jugs.
Yep.
Did you go to the list of games under Gamescom, or?
I just went to the official web, Gamescom 2020.
Yeah, there's Doom: The Dark Ages. Okay, I'm seeing like a big list of games. I actually need to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how to get a browsing window on the screen in front of us. I just don't want you guys to see all the PlayStation guys without pants pictures that I like. Okay, so yeah, there's Crimson Desert. There's Syntopia, Blood of the Dawnwalker. Yeah, there's amazing stuff here. Holy smokes. Okay, before we go into that, let's talk about some of the Xbox things. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. No, we won't talk about that. Keeper's going to be there, a game that's coming out this year. I'm not hyped about Keeper, Meg. Does that make me a bad person? I don't know what to expect
the Lighthouse
yet.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the thing is, though, the studio hasn't really let me down, so I'm obviously going to play it.
Yeah.
Because the studio hasn't let me down, and let's face it, that studio made, in my opinion only, folks, is that it's the best Xbox game they released this entire generation with Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My opinion is that Psychonauts 2 is the best game that Xbox released this generation, Xbox specifically. I don't think any other game that they made, well, maybe Forza Horizon 5, but Forza Horizon 5 is up there, but I still think that Psychonauts 2 was a better game than it was the best game they released this gen. So I can't not trust them to make an amazing game. So that being the case, I'm going to give it the old college try. I mean, it's right here. It's on Game Pass. I can play it and whatever. By the way, on Xbox, the Resident Evil remake trilogy is 50% off. So get on that right away, Resident Evil nuts. Get on it.
It's always Resident Evil with you. BT Maverick says Colt doesn't like indie games. I love lots and lots of games. I said this last week. Double Fine's put out a couple of games, and I didn't like them, like Rad and Costume Quest. But I love, Brutal Legend and Psychonauts 2 are amazing. So my cautiously optimistic part of me is like, I hope I like Keeper. But I don't know. I feel like Rad was just, maybe that was an anomaly. It was a weird game. It was like Metroidvania type thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see Keeper, because right now I really don't know what it's going to be. I haven't really watched.
I don't know.
I just saw
a lighthouse lumbering around with this big light, and I'm like, what is happening here? And it basically looked like a weird sort of like spin-off of Little Nightmares or something.
Right. Does it use like a mechanic where you shine the light and it allows you to, go different locations or something?
Yeah. The light is going to be is a huge mechanic in the game. The movement is obviously not it's going to be it's the light. It's basically going to take care of all that. But I mean, there's some pretty big games that they're going to talk about here.
So Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Mag. Like we talked about this last week. Everyone's like, oh, Call of Duty needs to die because Battlefield's here. There's only room for one shooter, which is ridiculous. But previews are coming out, and apparently Black Ops 7 is freaking incredibly awesome campaign. So I don't know if they're playing the campaign or multiplayer. I didn't ask, but somebody told me it is freaking incredibly awesome. Except they didn't use the freaking word; they used some other F word like Fazberry or something like that, or Farver beans.
The snozberries taste like snozberries. Yes.
I mean, Black Ops 6 was unbelievably great. That campaign was so good. Just the campaign is all I played. I played some multiplayer, but just the campaign was amazing. So it would be great to have another good Call of Duty game, because Modern Warfare 3 is horrible, but sounds good. Invincible Versus is going to be there. Do you remember this one, Mag? The Invincible TV show, the fighter beat 'em up, or not beat 'em up, but the fighting game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The show is incredibly disturbing, but it's really well done.
I know.
But I'm interested in that. Oh God, no! Are you kidding me? Not my kids don't even know it exists yet, but it's got that anime style, so my son would probably gravitate towards it. But I'm like, please.
They walk in the room, they're like,
yeah, like he's still watching like the whatever, the Dragon Ball stuff and some other anime stuff and whatever, and that's cool. But like, yeah, at the same time, I'm just like, no, please don't find Invincible. But I'm not. You know what? I played. If you look back here, I've got 4 fighting game cabinets in the arcade, and I'm done with them now. Like, I mean, I'll play the old ones that I have or whatever, but it just doesn't do anything for me. But I can tell you the games that I am interested in that are going to be at this thing. Black Ops 7, of course. Now, it's funny. A lot of people were same thing that you were saying. Even when I was playing Battlefield 6 this weekend, I really enjoyed Battlefield. I love Battlefield. I've played them all from the beginning. But I love all the first-person shooter stuff. Like Medal of Honor was amazing. Obviously, Call of Duty, played every single one of them, and I always play all the campaigns on Veteran plus multiplayer. I played all the Battlefields. But the thing is, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I'm not going to play Black Ops 7 because of Cardi B's thong and all that stuff. I'm still going to play.
What now?
Cardi B's thong and Cheech and Chong and Beavis and Butthead and American Dad goes running by. I mean, I make fun of that stuff and it is really stupid. It's the Fortnite-ification of first-person shooters. However, I'm more excited for Battlefield. But I am going to be playing Black Ops 7 because they also haven't let me down either. I thought Black Ops 6 was great. I love this. I love the campaign. I played through it twice, again on Veteran. I love the fact that you could go through your little base, the little house or whatever. And you could find clues, kind of like zombies, right? It would unlock certain doors and little things you'd find in the missions that you could come back to the place, and it would unlock more special things that you could use in multiplayer or in zombies. I'm a huge fan of the zombies mode too, so I'm all in. So I'm excited for Black Ops 7. I want to see what they bring to the table. Ghost of Yotei, I don't want to see any more about Ghost of Yotei. I've already bought it. It's waiting for me. It's just as soon as the game comes out, I'm on there playing. The other ones on the Xbox side of things, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yep.
That's going to be big for me because that's coming to Game Pass. I'm going to be playing that. Fallout, I don't want to talk about Fallout just yet because I'm hearing some stuff and I want to see how it all plays out before I say anything about it.
Where does it say Fallout?
Fallout is on the list there. There's something going on with Fallout. It may just be like a little bit of a promotional thing because of Season 2 is coming in December. So, of the show. So, it might just be that. Silent Hill F, that's a big... What's that?
No, go ahead. There's a lot of
I was going to say
here.
Silent Hill F, another big one for me. Apparently, that game is more action... oriented, not so combat heavy as opposed to puzzle solving, and I'm like, thank you.
Speaking
I'm
of
all
combat
in.
heavy, there's a game called Team Waifu, Waifu Tactical Force. That's something maybe you're going to check out.
Probably not. I'll take a look at it, but I mean, it didn't really ring my bell or anything like that. I mean, there's so many other bigger games, and of course, the granddaddy of them all that I'm looking forward to at Gamescom, which they're going to have a playable demo.
Just go look at Team Waifu if you find it on the list. I think it went over your head.
Yeah, Malik, you're not wrong, dude. He's like, trust me, Meg. If he's in anime, he either has seen worse or will see worse than Invincible. Yeah, Malik, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I will. What is it called? Team. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know. How did you spell
Waifu.
it?
Look on the. It's underneath on the road truck simulator. in this list of games.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The granddaddy, the one that I'm looking forward to because they're actually going to have a playable demo there, and we're going to get hands-on with it, is Resident Evil Requiem. That is my number one game of the show. It was the number one game shown this summer for me. That is going to be next to Grand Theft Auto 6 and hopefully Fable. Hopefully Fable makes it 6. Those are going to be my the 3 biggest games of 2026 for me is going to be Resident Evil, GTA 6, and Fable. God willing that Fable comes out that year. So that's it. Yeah. But so the biggest one, like Gamescom for me, is basically I'm like a horse with blinders as soon as I get to see people playing Resident Evil Requiem hands-on because I want to see what this is all about.
That's going to be your whole life, yeah. Malik says, Call of Duty's Fortnite's creepy uncle. Very well said. That it's like, hello, fellow young people. Yeah.
Hello, young people. Noisy mofo. He has to say something. He goes, "Who would have thought, Meg?" Yeah, when I talk about Resident Evil. Yeah, who would have thought?
On the Xbox list, let's see. You said Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden, yes.
Age of Empires 4. What the chunk is that doing there? High on Life 2, which is coming to Game Pass. Outer Worlds 2. I can't wait to play that. Is there anything else on here? I don't think we're gonna get any like bombshell announcements at Gamescom, except the game that I should have covered at the time when we were talking about it is Starfield's not on here. And
no, it's not on there. No.
I really believe that, well, Bethesda said they're going to be there, and they'll be there with Doom, The Dark Ages, and Order of the Giants. But
Indy Jones. Yeah, they're going to be there for Indy Jones and Doom.
But I think the Starfield thing is, I would assume that Starfield's going to be there because they're like, we don't want to say we're going to have Starfield there because people have these expectations. We're just going to have Starfield there. We'll just say, hey, we're going to be there as Bethesda, and let's leave the Starfield thing out. But I could be wrong. Starfield could be a no-show until spring. And like I said, I built a 28-minute video that will sit on my channel unlisted. If you ask really nice, or you know, send me some cupcakes, maybe I can send you the link. But yeah, it's an excellent video, and I may have to sit on it until Starfield has their announcement. But someone was saying the other day, Mag, they've already given up on the game. I'm like, no, they've got Starborn DLC.
Not quite.
Coming.
I mean, the new DLCs coming. You might see something at the Game Awards. I mean, they might drop the DLC trailer at the Game Awards. Maybe. Or more likely, I would say that they might show it in January when they do the developer direct. You know, when they do that developer direct and they show what's coming up for the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like, good call. Good call.
That would make the most sense. I think when we're going to see something about more than just Fallout with the TV show. There's going to be something else out there. I'm just waiting for some more concrete evidence before I talk about it. But there's
I got
that,
couple...
and then of course, sorry, I was going to say, and Starfield's going to PlayStation 5. So
yeah, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, they're giving it an extra push. They're giving it an extra push. Oh, by the way, that's another thing that people still coming after me about. You said Starfield's coming to PS. I'm like, it still is, but I'm like, okay.
I think it is too.
I'm like, they don't wave Harry Potter's magic wand and go Expecto Starfield, and it just appears out of thin air. Like it takes time.
Expecto Starfieldo.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
that's
Expecto
some awful
Starfieldo.
Italian.
Yeah, I know. Severus. Still. Always.
Potter.
Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to make it just appear out of thin air. Like, for God's sake, give it time. But anyway, spring, you're going to be looking at a couple things going. They're going to give it another push with the DLC. Like I said, it wasn't really my cup of tea, which is funny because I love open world RPG shooters. This one just didn't connect with me. That's all, and that's fine. Whatever. Not everything is whatever. And you never know.
Squeeze.
Maybe I'll go back.
My best advice for Starfield is you must squeeze. Starfield.
What?
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have to do that.
My lemon.
Like Fallout 4, you don't have to squeeze. You just play, and the enjoyment comes to you. But you do have to squeeze some of it in Starfield. But when you do, the squeeze is worth it. But that's why Red and I put this video together. Talk about you can get rid of the need to squeeze. People hate it when I use some of these words. Like I say, this game's like really ooey and gooey and chewy. Like it has that, like a hamburger has the crunchy and the chewy and the soft, and all together it just makes it so satisfying. Starfield's missing a little bit of the crispy lettuce and the onion, and it's missing some of that juice that comes from the hamburger. But I think they're going to work on it. And the people in the chat are like, Starfield's excellent. I love Starfield. I absolutely do love Starfield. But as a big fan, I could tell you it needs some massaging. It needs a little bit of work. And there's a few mods that don't really change the game, but they do make it more enjoyable for me. And you shouldn't have to do that. Yeah. And Bethesda knows this. And Icon says, like my Starfield wife, who did you marry in Starfield? My good friend, he married Sam Coe. I go, well, I mean, I like Elias Sefexis as much as the next guy. Maybe he will be my next one. King Styles goes, no squeezing the juice. Super's coming in. Our good friend Yodani Kizada. Well, sorry, what did you say, Mag?
No, I was going to say Loop 73 was the only one who got my Zeppelin. When you were talking about squeezing the juice, and I just
and watch the juice run down my leg. Classic.
Juice runs down my leg. Yeah. Sorry.
We got to go do karaoke. We will do it. Yodani Kizada, thank you for the 5. So a snail was training for a race. He discarded the shells to lose the weight and become more aerodynamic, but turns out he ended up more sluggish.
Oh, hardy har har. That was actually pretty funny. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Yodani's always good for a good one. Yeah,
that was a good one. I enjoyed that. There's another game that we, we're old, Meg. You're not wrong, Loops. What about Final Fantasy VII going to Xbox? You think we'll see anything? Do you think they'll be talking about that
at Gamescom?
Yeah, Gamescom. Yeah, I figured we're still on the topic. Right?
Wait, is it? Yeah, we always are. Is it on? Final Fantasy Tactics is on here.
No, not Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah,
Final
it is.
Fantasy
It is.
7
Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is on the Xbox broadcast. So, yeah, we'll get to see it. We'll get to see Final.
Oh, weird. That was
Cloud McStrife with an XY being A button.
That's what I was talking about in February. I made a video about that. I said that 16 was coming, and then after 16 was Integrate.
You did?
And then 2020, I did. And then in 2026, well, that's what my Microsoft guys told me. And they're like, yeah, we got it. It's coming. We got it locked down. And then they said 2026 is going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good. And so far, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
A little meatloaf. What's the name of the main character in Final Fantasy VII? Doc, is it Cloud McStuffins or something? Cloud McGriddle?
McStuffins?
What is it? Cloud McGriddle or
it's Cloud it's Cloud McLovin. As a matter of fact.
Cloud McLovin. Isn't it Cloud McCloud, like Duck McCloud or whatever from DuckTales?
No,
what's that character's name?
It's Strife.
Strife McCloud? Strife McCloud,
yeah. God. It's Cloud Strife. I mean, I think I prefer Cloud McLovin, to be quite honest.
It's Cloud McStrife, isn't it? Isn't it Mick something?
No, it's not Mick. It's just Strife.
It's Duck McCloud. Something like that. And he's the girl that plays the main character with the blonde hair, right?
The girl. God, Colt is just trolling the living hell out of this game right now.
People get so mad when I'm like, what's the girl from what's that girl from Kingdom Hearts with the big key? Sora, what's her name? It's a guy!
I know. You know what, man? Dude, if you want to piss off people, talk about anime and make jokes about it. Holy crap. You want to talk about psychos?
Oh,
they are the next level. They're like the furries that you meet at those conventions with the tails and stuff. Yep. And you're just like, hey, man, why do you have a tail? And they'd be like, I'm not a man, I'm a chipmunk. You know what I mean? And they go insane. Yeah, like that's basically
No, they turn around and go, they'll hiss at you.
Like, oh, sorry, furry. All right, back to My Little Pony porn or whatever you watch.
So Mag and I are making fun of it, but we wanted to wait until today to tell you that Mag and I routinely dress up as furries when we go to gaming events. We just didn't want you guys to recognize us when we were there. I'm usually a raccoon, and well, you dress up as a furry. Night. I was getting the show ready last night, and I found the video of you taking off your Xbox shirt and putting on the Pony Master 420 thing.
Oh, yeah.
With the sword.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot that used to be in the intro. It was so funny.
I used to be in the intro way back when. Yeah, when we first started together. Yeah, it was hilarious. See, like Alex wears his banana suit. I just wear my I just wear my squirrel outfit. So that's we're going to be doing a podcast together like that. It's going to be called Squirrel and the Banana. It's coming very soon. As I look for it, Q4 2025. New podcast.
And it'll get delayed.
Squirrel and the Banana.
Like the Crimson
Of
Desert.
course. Yeah.
Game Seeker, thank you so much for gifting a channel membership to Alish Me. I appreciate both of you for being here and supporting the channel. Encouraging, thank you for the 5. Says, I feel like people don't understand when Starfield go to PlayStation to give the game more life, which leads to more DLC. That's a good point. I think Starfield will do pretty well on PlayStation. They sold like 13, well, they had 13 million players, but they probably sold over 10 million copies by now. So I think on PlayStation, it should sell a couple of million or a few million copies on PlayStation 5. And I think people kind of understand what makes the game great, and they'll also understand what needs to be fixed once they play it on PlayStation. So what we're really hoping for is for Bethesda to fix some key things before they release the DLC. And typically Bethesda DLC introduces new game mechanics or new building or new mechanics in the game that kind of broaden it out. You know, like Fallout 4 added, you could, build your own robots and have robot companions and stuff. Like that stuff just kind of adds to the game. So anyway,
there's a couple more. Sorry, there's a couple more I was just going to briefly mention just as we're getting the end of the show here. What's it called? Onimusha. I was a huge fan. I mean, I know, I'm a Capcom simp. There's no other way around it. Except, funny enough, I don't like Monster Hunter, which is like one of their most popular IPs of all time, next to Resident Evil, obviously. But I don't like Monster Hunter. But Capcom, they make such great games, especially in the past. Onimusha was such a huge game for me. It was basically like Resident Evil with like samurai zombies or whatever.
This is this is like a full remake, modernization of the first game.
It's a remake from the ground up. It's not based on any of the other games. It's literally a completely new game with a new character and everything. It's not a remake. It's a whole new game. So that's another big one I'm looking for. The other one that I found a little bit suspicious, I'm just like, well, first of all, Metal Gear, which by the way, I heard some people who played Metal Gear, they said it was amazing. The new Metal Gear,
Snake Eater.
Delta or whatever, Snake Eater. Yeah. A couple of guys that I talked to who played it said it's amazing. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to that may not translate to like the whole game is awesome. It probably is.
Everybody already loves that game. I just never played it back in the day, so that tracks, right? If they're saying the remake's awesome.
They're saying the remake is awesome, but like I said, that's from 2 guys. You never know. So I'm gonna just kind of reserve judgment.
Speaking of Metal Gear, did you hear that David Hayter, the original voice actor for Solid Snake, said he put down his anger to Hideo Kojima for hiring Kiefer Sutherland, and he said he played Metal Gear Solid 5 and absolutely loved it. That game's almost 10 years old now. I think it is 10 years old.
It is. It was PS4, right? It came out in PS4.
Xbox
was it a
One.
PS4 exclusive? Or was it on
Xbox One and PS4?
That's right. It was because remember Hideo Kojima came out on stage on the Xbox showcase. You remember that?
Yep.
And he played, God forbid, he actually came out with a controller and played it on the screen. You remember when they used to do that? They used to come out and play it live.
They don't do that stuff anymore.
Doing it live. They don't do it anymore. Yeah, we're doing it live. I loved when they used to come out and play those games live, and then they would just zoom the camera in, and you could just watch it. That was so much fun.
Did you love when they would come on stage and do the Kinect demos?
Oh, those were so funny. Yeah, those were hilarious. I remember when Kinect was on I remember when Kinect was on what's it called? Damn it, what the hell's his name? Late night.
Jimmy Fallon?
No, it was before those guys. It was before those guys because it was 360, like 20 years ago. So it was David Letterman. Yeah, so they did an actual demonstration on David Letterman of the Kinect, and wow.
Oh,
was it Conan?
I thought it was Conan.
I thought it was David Letterman.
It was Conan. It was. I was thinking it was Jimmy Fallon. It was Conan because he had.
I thought it was David Letterman.
He had Conan play one of my favorite racing games, Burnout Paradise, in road mode where you only see the road, like you can't see the car. So it was like first person camera. He was playing Burnout Paradise, and he had Conan hold his hands up like this. Everyone's right in there. Christine in chat says Conan's hilarious. I used to watch Conan like crazy with my girlfriend turned fiance, now wife, with Conan way back in the day. But he had Conan I can't remember who it was. Who was it, chat? That was the representative. It might have been Don Matrick. I can't remember, but they told Conan to hold his hands like this and step forward with his foot, and he was driving Burnout Paradise, and I was so impressed. And when the Kinect came out, it had zero back compat or zero multi-platform game support. But the demo had you playing Burnout Paradise with your hands and your foot forward for the gas, and it totally worked on stage. And you never got any of that. You were playing Sesame Street Monsters by Double Fine on and Fable Kinect and crap like that. What did you? Yeah. What were your big memories of the Kinect? Did you buy one back in the day? Because I raced all over town looking for one back in the day.
I got it day one. I got that game day one. I got that add-on day one. And I actually, funny enough, I was dating my wife at the time, and I bought her one too. And so I bought one for myself, and I bought one her as a gift. We were, like I said, we were still dating. And I was really, really excited for it. And I really enjoyed it. I like the, what was it, Kinect Sports or whatever.
That was
Remember
so
that?
fun.
They had like
and Adventures.
The river raft.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it was cool, man. I enjoyed it for what it was. It started getting silly with like,
I don't know.
My kids weren't born yet.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. My kids were, my two oldest were, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old.
Right.
And they would push each other out of the way. You're messing up, because their characters start going like this because one was like hogging the camera or too far forward. And I remember we had so much fun with the Kinect, but at a certain point, even with the Nintendo Wii, we had to say, stop playing. All you're doing is fighting. But we had,
it was awesome. But no, it was before my wife and I were even married, so there were no kids in the equation. So they didn't come till much later. But either way, I was excited for that. Another thing I was going to say, for anybody who's a Mortal Kombat freak, there is going to be another thing called the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection that's coming out, and they're going to be talking about it at Gamescom as well. I own 3 Mortal Kombat cabinets, so I don't need it. But it has more than 20 Mortal Kombat games in this collection.
In the 20 console
games for console, yes.
Wait, wasn't that at Summer Games Fest, right? It has like
they talked about
it has like the Nintendo version, the PlayStation version of Mortal Kombat 1 and everything.
Yeah, something like that. And then it's going to be like they're going to go into more detail about it on the show. And like I said, there's going to be 20 titles on there. And the one that they never add to any collection, which they're finally doing now, is one of my favorites because it was so bizarre, was Mortal Kombat 4. You remember their first dive into 3D, and it basically looked like Battle Arena Toshinden from PS1, and we were like watching it, going, "Whoa!"
Because it was no longer like captured photos put to life. I'm gonna see what that looks like.
Deadly Alliance will be there, Bifrinaldi. It's gonna be there because there's 20 games on the list.
That actually looks better than the originals. Because typically I'm looking at 4 screenshots. Typically, the first polygonal stuff, like the first Tekken, looks so awful to me, even when it was newish. But I'm looking at screenshots, and Mortal Kombat 4 actually looks really good. But Street Fighter 4 looked way better than this at its time, but that's funny.
So it's releasing on all consoles, whatever. And then I'm trying to, the funny thing is no one is giving me a full, oh, here we go. I got the full list of games. So it's Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate, and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Mortal Kombat Trilogy was different than 1, 2, and 3. You remember when that came out? And it was like every single character, including all the hidden characters, plus new characters. There's Mortal Kombat 4. There's Advance, Deadly Alliance. There you go, Bifrinaldi. Tournament Edition, as well as more. And so there's going to be 20 titles in total are going to be there in this collection. So it's going to be incredibly vast. And if you're, like I said, if you're a Mortal Kombat enthusiast or you just collect all the games in one package, there you go. So there it is. Yeah. Interesting. It'll be interesting. Either way, it's going to be great. The Gamescom thing I'm really excited for. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen this year and how it's all going to go down. So, pretty much everybody's showing up in one way or another, which is wonderful, and that's what we needed. And I think there needs to be more focus on these things now that, not now, but I mean, it's been a couple of years, but E3 is completely dead. Summer Games Fest is great, but we need that other little boost before we get into that fall season. Before
the industry needs it too. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like the industry
absolutely.
needs you need to keep these games in the zeitgeist, because what happens is after Gamescom, there's like a 4-month delay, not delay, there's a 4-month like gap before we get to the Game Awards in December. So that being the case, this is the perfect time to be able to give the industry another boost, especially before the fall when we've got a million fantastic games coming out across the board, right?
Yeah, and the push for more unification and multi-platform positions where PlayStation is going to pick and choose games. That jug is gigantic. Yeah, no, it's a really good time. It is a really, really good time. Udani says, have to run, folks. Please hit like, subscribe, say something nice about Mag and Eastwood's hair, and call your moms. I do need to call my mom. I need to call my moms. I'm excited. Unfortunately, like most of this big news, all the reveals for Gamescom will happen between the show, but we'll talk about the most impactful stuff next week. Keep an eye on the channel. I don't know what content I'm making this week, but Mag's going to have news every time it breaks. And welcome back. Glad you're feeling up to the task and everything's going well. And sorry today was kind of iffy. I hope today made you feel better with an amazing audience, and our chat is...
I'm over it now.
That's awesome. Tell everybody...
over it now.
Tell everybody what's the what, and then we'll call it.
Yes, thank you, everybody, and thank you guys all for the support and everything else, as always, for not only myself, but also for Colt, and, of course, us together on this very show. There's not a day that goes by that I don't get at least a dozen messages, if not more, about how much they love XNC. All the time, they're like, I love you guys on XNC, whatever. And the funny thing is, and this just shows you that these consoles, these ecosystems mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, because a lot of people that I see on my PlayStation, I've added, I don't know, since like last year, hundreds of people have added me on PlayStation, as well as my Xbox, obviously. And a lot of those people on PlayStation all say, I love listening to you and Colt on XNC.
Love that. That's
and these
awesome.
are all these are PlayStation guys. So you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it means absolutely. Just go out there, have fun, have a great time. Yes,
you know
if you want to check out my
You notice how we don't often get clipped anymore on this, like on this show? Like,
not really, no.
It's not
what
really
are you going to
happening.
clip? Positivity? What are you
I don't know.
Clip? Positivity?
I feel like people, assume a lot of things, but I've learned a lot over the past couple of years, especially over the last year. When Project Latitude was like brought to me before it was covered, like you were holding on to it, you hadn't even told me yet. I was like, I could tell you why it'll work. That's what I told the guy who said Xbox is going to start putting games on PlayStation. I could say, I can tell you why it will work. And when you say like we need, I'm like cutting off your outro, but the industry is going to heal because old traditional ways of doing things are no longer going to work, and everyone is going to benefit from it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mag?
Yeah. And we're all just here to have a great time. But anyways, I was going to say, if you haven't checked out my very divisive video today, I don't know why. All I did was report something that, jeez, I don't know. People lost their minds. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is the video's on my channel, The Mag Show. You can find me there, of course. And Beer Baron, somebody clipped that. And so you'll find that there. Now, I have something very special that I've been working on for a very long time. It's been here in this noggin of mine for 5 years. And I'm finally doing it because my wife said, I swear to God, if you don't do it, I'm going to beat the S out of you. And I'm like, fine, I'll do it. So I'm finally doing it. And actually, you know who else pushed me to do it? And he said it. That'll be a hint to everybody. I'm not telling you what it is. It'll be a surprise when I launch it. Hopefully, God willing, tomorrow, if not Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how fast I can edit this, my new video. King David of the Iron Lords podcast had said something to me on this very show about 2 months ago. What was he here? About 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever it was. And he talked to me about it for 5 minutes, and he said, and he brought it to my mind, and he's haunted me ever since. His words have haunted me, and I'm like, I've got to do this. I got to do this. So yeah, I'm finally doing it. You'll see what I'm talking about very soon. Yes, I hopefully get that video out. So keep your eyes peeled for the Mag Show. Go like and subscribe and all that kind of jazz and whatever else, and come check me out, man. And then of course, do the same thing for Colteastwood. Mind you, You wouldn't be here if you weren't already subbed to Colteastwood. But Magcast this week has got pushed because tomorrow I wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, Mag is making a waifu game. Thank you, Malik. Yes, I'm doing that right away. I'm getting dressed in my anime outfit as we speak. And Colin Prime, I'm just messing around, right? Because he was like, not all anime guys are the same. I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around with you guys.
Have some fun with it.
Magcast, I wasn't supposed to be here tonight because I was supposed to be out of town today, but I called Colt or I messaged Colt 2 days ago, and I'm like, dude, I'm actually not leaving Tuesday. So Magcast is delayed by one day. That. Yeah. And then Wednesday, I will be doing Magcast. Like I said, last week, big success. I got almost 1,000 people out there watching the show. Wonderful.
Awesome.
And so, I will be moving Magcast by one day into Wednesday, and I'm going to be finishing Mafia and Silent Hill 2 this week in anticipation of getting into Gears and Helldivers next week, and I will be playing with both communities, PlayStation and Xbox, on those 2 games. Woo, that was a mouthful. We'll see you guys all next week. Have a great night. Colt, thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk.
Thanks, everybody. And reach out to me and let me know what I should make a video about this week, because I haven't even thought about it. I appreciate all your support. Hit the like button on the way out, and we'll talk soon. We've got coins we're going to be giving away soon. I'll have more information next week. We'll talk about it then. Have a good one, guys. We're out of here.
Later.